Hi, Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Organizational Behavior. So today we're going to enter a new chapter, which is chapter 6. So what's on chapter 6? Let's look at it. Assalamualaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chapter 6, Perceptions and Individual Decision Making. Wow, quite interesting topic because we all have our own perception. We all do have perceptions, and we all have make a different decision making before this, right? So what's on this chapter? So this is the learning objective, that what you're going to get after this chapter. I hope that everyone will achieve this, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me or WhatsApp me, or you can simply ask in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so define perception and explain the factors that influence it. Perception. Perception is a process where we organize and we interpret the sensory impressions in order to give meaning to the environment. For example, that we're seeing something, we're seeing a situation, or we're seeing someone. We have several inputs in our brain. We organize all the data, we organize all the information, and we interpret the situation based on what our sensories are and what our impressions are based on the situation. So this is important and related to organizational behavior because you are working with people, so you need to understand people's behavior. You are trying to perceive people behavior, and sometimes the perception, the reality is not the reality itself, because it is just our perception. Sometimes our perception might be wrong. Okay, so this is the factors that influence the perception. Okay, factors in the situation is time, the work setting, and the social setting. Factors in the perceiver, ourselves, our attitudes, our motives, our interests, our experience, and expectations. For example, if we have a higher expectations towards someone or towards a situation, we might have a different perception. If, for example, we doesn't like someone, or we are deeply in love with someone, we have a different perceptions towards him or her. Okay, factors in the target, or the target is the situation or that person, that particular person, is the novelty. Novelty means that the originality of that current situation. If it happens for that one time, never happened before, so it will definitely gives a different perception if rather than if you're doing that particular situations over and over again. Motion, sound, size, background, proximity, and similarity. Okay, attribution theory suggests that we observe individuals' behavior and we attempt to determine whether it was internally or externally caused. Okay, determination depends on three factors, which is the distinctiveness, the quality of being an individual, consensus, the agreement, and consistencies, which is the steadiness. Okay, these three factors will determine uh, uh, our determinations or our observations towards someone. Okay. Um, internally caused is something that is under that person control. Externally caused is something caused by something from external factors. Okay, so this is attribution theory. Individual behavior determined by distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency. So it can have it can give to the attributions of cause. Okay, external, internal, uh, external, internal, external, internal. So fundamental attribution error, because sometimes we have the tendency to underestimate the influence of external factors and overestimate the influence of internal factors. We tend to put the force in ourselves because we tend to believe that we have control for it. And then we have self-serving bias, because this one is we're biased on our own attribute to our own success towards internal factors. Okay, and then selective perception. We select on what we want to perceive on someone's behavior. Okay. Halo effect occur when we draw a general impressions towards a basic scene characteristic. It's a general general impression, general characteristic. We tend to believe that everyone is quite similarly the same, so it's a halo effect. Okay. Contrast effects, we do not evaluate a person in isolation. Okay, our reaction is influenced by a persons that we have already encountered. For example, we tend to put this one person is similar to the a person that we have encountered before, so it's not fair. Okay, we are comparing. Okay, and then we have stereotyping. We judge someone by perception. Okay, and then due to this, we have to know that when we have um, perception, sometimes it also affects our decision making, because we have different perceptions towards someone. So sometimes our decision making might be influenced by the attribution errors or the perceptual errors that we have before this. So it's actually contribute to a new problem or new conflict. Okay, decision making occurs as a reaction to a problem. Okay, when there is a problem, we need to solve it, so it comes for a decision making. So this is the steps in rational decision making. First, we need to define what is the problem, how big is it, identify the decision criteria, allocates the weight of the criteria, okay, and then we develop alternatives. Okay, what are the alternatives that we have in order to solve the problem, and then evaluate the alternative, which one is better, and then we select the best alternative. So it's very simple. This one is very simple to understand because you do this every single day. You decide whether you want to go to class or not. You decide whether you want to wake from sleep or not. What you want to do today. What you want to do with your life. Why are you furthering on sports management? So decision making, you always do that. So intuition is actually your sense, your feelings. Okay, intuitive decision making occurs outside conscious thought. Okay, it's outside from conscious thought. It's something that is not conscious, because you tend to believe about your sense or your feelings. Okay, I feel that this is might be the right decision for me. It's an intuition. Okay, so sometimes intuition is very supportive towards the logical decision making that you have done. Okay, so this is the common decision bias or errors. You can read it on yourself. Okay, and then this is a common decision bias, overconfidence bias. Of course, you believe that your decision is right because you are intellectual enough and you have interpersonal abilities. Okay, and then anchoring bias, because you put everything uh, on the initial information that you have. You did not you only have that one information and you did not dig more about that particular thing, so you're only focusing on that. By focusing on that one anchor, so it's become anchoring bias. Confirmation bias, okay, because you reaffirm the past choices. Okay, availability bias, you make um, you make judgment based on information that whatever is in front of you, right? Escalation of commitment, staying with the decision, whether it is right or wrong, you just stay to the decision. Randomness error, we believe that we can predict the outcome, but it happens to be the outcome. It's not something that we predict. Okay, risk aversion is something that we prefer a sure thing instead of a risky outcome. We are in a comfort zone. Like me, if I'm making a decision, I always think about what worst can come. Because when we think about what worst can come, we are more prepared about it. Okay. Hindsight bias is a belief falsely that one has accurately predicted an outcome of event after the outcome is actually known. Okay, it means that we we are actually we're actually not accepting the fact about the truth. We're not accepting the truth. We already know the truth, but we're not accepting it, and we tend to believe that it will happen vice versa. Okay? So, explaining how individual experiences and organizational constraints affect decision making, of course. Decision making can be affected through individual differences by the personality, gender, mental ability, cultural differences. If you are a Malay, your thoughts will be different, but if you're a Malay, uh, raised in a Chindian community, it will be different. So these are things why our decision making different. Okay. Then organizational constraints. Okay. And this is last one, the implications for the manager, of course. In order to understand people behavior, you need to have a good perceptions towards everyone. Perceptions doesn't always right. It sometimes can be very, very wrong. So whenever you have a problem, you just simply need to ask. And then if you want to do a decision, please make sure that you do a research towards your problem. Do research about your alternative, okay? And then after you have gained all the informations and then you compare them, then only you can decide. Don't rush in making a decision, because rush by doing a decision in rushing, it will definitely give you something risky. Okay. I think that is all for today. I hope that everyone understands. If you have any questions, do ask me in my Padlet, or you can simply ask in a WhatsApp group. Don't forget to finish up these videos so that you will be prepared for your test one. Okay. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.